All right. So good evening to you all. I hope you are all doing great. Yeah. So today is all about back office training, and I'm going to just treat one topic, which is margin calls. Okay, the importance of opening of more margin calls, because I see a lot of people lacking knowledge in that aspect. All right. So I'll go to strategy. But before I explain what margin calls are, um, there's been a new update. Okay, if your Royalq app is not up to date, make sure you have you've updated it. Okay, when you update it, you see this withdraw over there. Okay, then you see the withdrawable amount that you can withdraw on that particular day. Okay, so make sure you all have it. All right, so let us go to strategy. Now, what are margin calls? When we say margin calls, what do we mean by margin calls? Can someone help me? Do you guys have any idea? If someone has any idea, you can tell me. Raise up your hands and I would allow you to talk. What are margin calls? Nobody knows. I'll not call people that I know they know. I'll not call people I know they know. People like Leader is great. I know, but shy to talk. Oh, you don't have to be shy. You don't have to be shy, okay? All right. So since we don't have anybody raising their hands up, I'm going to explain what margin calls mean, okay? All right. So margin calls are Leader Doris, I'm not calling you, I'm sorry. I need new people, so I'm going to lower your hands up. All right. So when we say margin calls, okay, it refers to additional investment or adjustment made to an ongoing trade. Now, let me break down ongoing trade. What is an ongoing trade? This coins you see here, they are ongoing trade, meaning they are already in the market. Okay. I hope that part is clear. When the market moves against your position, what is the position they are talking about? Your position amount. Okay. So margin calls refer to additional investments or adjustments made to an ongoing trade when the market moves against your position. Hope that is clear. Unlike traditional financial markets, okay, but with Royalq, we call it martingale strategy. Okay, when you introduce the margin call, that is when you are making good use of the martingale strategy. That helps you to average down the entry price, okay, so that it will prepare you for a potential market rebound, okay. Now, how does margin calls work? So initial investment and first buy, okay. When you start a trade, you set an initial investment, which is the first buying amount. Okay, you say, okay, robot, buy 25. The robot will buy the 25 USDT. Okay. Now, when it buys with your 25, you have a new average price. It will create an average price because it will buy at the current price. But later, when the current price drops or goes up, your price at which you entered at becomes your average price. Okay. Then, when the market drops and trigger margin calls, okay, the bot automatically executes the additional buys that is using of the rest of your funds. That is why someone with 2,000 USDT for trading, it's not advisable to type the 2,000 here as first buying amount, 2,000. Then you save. Ask yourself, if I use all, hey, let me turn off this so before it go, to go and buy 2,000, then mistake. Thank God. Let me turn off the margin call before I do the class. Okay. So if you use all the 2,000 USDT, it means you don't have any money again. Don't forget, the market is not our friend, neither is it our enemy. So you have to prepare for the drop downs. Look at this SUI. Look at how it is moving. Can you see the movement? Let me take a screenshot. Moves like this, then went up small, then came again, went like this. You can see the movement is zigzag. It's not, it's just going up on the straight line or like this. No, it's moving in that order. Do you get it? So the movement, for you to prepare for the drop downs, that is what we call margin call. Okay? Have you guys gotten it to this point? Now, if the market drops beyond your preset margin call levels, the bot will automatically execute additional buys using more of your funds. Now, this additional buys lower the average purchase price of the coin you are trading, making it easier for you to make profits when the market recovers. Do you guys understand? Now, let's look at the margin call limit. So Royalq, the maximum margin call limit one can have is 999. Now, for some past months now, 3 months now, I have adopted this 100 margin call limit strategy. Why? Because testing it and trying it, I've seen that it really helps. Even if I follow the signals that Crypto Ambassadors, my upline leader, Julius Kabanda, if I follow the signal, I still use my 100 margin call limit. Do you guys understand? Okay. So the margin call limit gives you the number of calls that the bot will be initiating if the market should go against you. Okay. Now, we are able to configure this margin calls, okay, and allocate an amount that you want the robot to buy at. Okay. That is where you see the margin configuration. Now, under the margin configuration, we have two topics here. We have margin call drop, multiple buy-in ratio. Some people have multiple buying times, or I don't know, depending on the phone you are using. I'm using an iPad. Okay, so with the iOS, this is how you see it. But the Android users, maybe there might be a change, maybe multiple buying times, or okay, but it's multiple buying ratio. Now you can see. So it says that margin call for first call is 0.2, drop, 0.3, drop, 0.5, drop. Now, what does this mean? This simply means that if you bought the coin at an average price of 4.9569, when the first call drops by 0.2%, that is why the percentage is there. When it drops by 0.2, the robot should buy how many times? 1 times. Can you see that? 1 times. This one stands for times, okay? So when the market drops by 0.2 from where I bought it from, it should buy 1 times. Now, is mine 1 times of what? Ask yourself, 1 times of what? my FBA, first buy in amount. So if my first buying amount is, let me undo so I can get a clear page. If my first buying amount is 25, it means the first call will be 25 times 1. So there will be 25 here. The second call too, if it drops by 0.3%, it should buy 1 times my first buying amount of 25. So if it buys first and second call, that will be 50. Okay. Then it continues in that order. If you see the sentence, it's 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 times throughout. Okay, 1, 1, 1 times throughout. Hey, I think I saw something like 4 somewhere. I think it's a mistake. Yeah, this has to be 5. 1, sorry. Okay, hey, this one too. Okay, it buys 1, 1, 1, 1. So I'm going to save this so that my settings can save. The changes that I just made will take effect. Okay, so let's go back to the margin configuration. Okay, now if it buys at different call drops, once the market rises above the adjusted average price, that including my margin calls, okay, the robot will quickly sell when it closes in profit. Now, let's look at some benefits of margin calls. Averaging down. This simply means that it reduces the average entry price, making it more likely to profit during market rebounds. Is something here? Because when I remember some people, the questions they ask me privately, they are not here. I feel like, I don't know, it's not here. It's so unfortunate. But let me continue. When he comes and asks me question, I'll refer him to this video. You have to watch it from the beginning. Okay, let's continue. So one of the benefits of margin calls in Royalq is that it helps you to average down. Okay, it reduces your average entry price so that once the current price moves up a little bit, then it will sell. Let me do manual replenishment. Okay, when you want to do manual replenishment, you tap on buy. Now I need you guys to be watching this part. This is the old average price. Now if I type a number here, any amount here, just look at what will happen. Just look at what will happen here and here. Okay, let's do that. So in total, how much is invested here? The position amount is how much is invested in USDT. This is 775,7557. So let's say, for instance, I want to add 200. I cannot drag it up. Let's say 300. Now you can see that if I invest extra 300 USDT, I'll get a new average price of 4,8436. And my new floating loss rate will be negative 5.57 instead of negative 7.73. That is how we do manual replenishment. Okay, so let's assume you have a coin that you want to open more margin calls on it, but you first want to use part of it to buy manually before the rest of the money will be used for the margin calls. Okay, now do you guys get it to this place before I add more things to it? All right, so another benefit is that with the margin calls, it helps in automated execution. Okay, meaning the Royalq robot handles all the buying and selling based on the strategy Okay, and it reduces emotional trading. Okay, so once your trade sets and once your margin configuration, everything is set, my dear, you are good to go. Now let's look at the risks of margin calls. Now, insufficient funds. If your account doesn't have enough USDT to handle the additional margin calls, it's possible that your trade will be stuck. Do you understand? If your average price is so far away from your current price, you should know that it will take a great miracle in the crypto industry for that coin to sell for you. Unless you wait for maybe 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, I cannot tell when, before that coin will go up to sell for you. So as you are trading, it's always good to be drawing your average price closer to the current price, so that once there is a little rise up, the robot will quickly sell for you. Now, another risk is prolonged downtrend. Okay, if the market continues to drop without rebounding, like what we are seeing with 1,000 sats, if it continues to drop without rebounding, your funds might get tied up in a trade. So these are the only two risks. If you don't have insufficient funds, your trades get stuck. And prolonged downtrend, if the market continues to drop without rebounding, like going up, okay, your funds will be tied up here. Do you guys get it? Now, let me explain another thing. Now, since I'm on floating loss on this coin, the initial amount that the robot used was 775 USDT. That is why USDT is into brackets. But when I go to my exchange under SUI, I don't expect to see 775 value. Why? Because the coin has dropped by negative 7.66%. If we want to calculate 775.7, want to calculate let me do that calculation. You don't need to do it. I'm just teaching you. Okay. So 775 or 7557, 7557 times 7.75%. 7.75%. So when I go to my exchange, I'm going to see that, I'm going to see that my 775 that I have there, I'll not see 775. Instead, I'll see 775 minus 60. So let me do that calculation quickly. 775 minus 60. Forget about the cents. So I'm going to meet 715 in my exchange. Now, where is the balance? Hey, Vivian and her team members did not join. Oh, so where is the balance?
I'm here.
Hey, you made it. Oh, thank God.
Yes.
All right, good. So, guys, when I go to my exchange, instead of me seeing 775, I will not see that because the coin has dropped by negative 7.75 of my total assets that the robot has bought for me so far. So I'll meet the 715. That's the calculation we just did, right? I'll go and meet 715. So I'll be like, hey, my money is gone. My money keeps reducing. But when the market start going up and the money keeps increasing, that one day they don't come and say it. Oh, my money has increased. You will not see anybody saying that. It's when it's reducing. Okay. So guys, that is it about margin calls. Now I want to draw your attention to one of my trades here. At first, I've been using Troy as an example, but this time I'm going to use Firo. So that somehow not think that it's only Troy every day. She has been showing us Troy. She should show us another coin that thing has happened before. Let's go to Firo. So as you can see, it's only one cycle that has been completed on this coin. One. The second cycle is still in session. and it's having a floating loss of negative 216 out of whatever total that is here. Okay, so let's look. The first time the profit was 8.65. There was no margin call, meaning that profit was based on this investment, this USDT. And the duration lasted for 3 hours, 51 minutes. Now, this same coin has now been in trade for 6 days, 19 hours, 15 minutes, 59 seconds. It has not yet delivered. But I want to draw your attention to the total revenue at the top here. Someone will ask, but 8 plus this will not give us this. How come she has made 78 point blah, blah, blah? It's because of this. You see what margin calls can do? That is the power of margin call. So had it been, I only invested the money without any calls. I had only one. Mind you, you cannot edit the margin call limit as 0. You have to put at least 1 over there. So had it been my first margin call even never initiated, how much would I have made from this coin? Only 8.65. But look, let's deduct. Let me go to my calculator again. 78.53 minus 453. 453 minus 8.65. So this is the profit that I've made from Firo on margin calls alone. That is more than someone's profit for even 1 week or 1 day, even though the coin has not sold off completely. So that is one testimony about opening of more margin calls. Okay. Now let's look at the transaction record. One of my team members came to me and said, "Oh, I'm just making some cents. So this cents here, when will it be money?" Don't underestimate those cents, because if I want us to calculate one day the cents that was made from Firo alone, you will be amazed that it will be more than $9 a day. Do you get it? Now, why is it that my first my sub sales is giving me this percentage, this small percentages? This is 0.87, this is 0.77, this is 0.75, 0.99, 1.09%, 0.85. Now, let me show you why. Oh no, I went to XRP. We are talking about Firo. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let's go to trade setting. Now, this is whole position take profit ratio. Now, the whole position take profit ratio, it happens from the 0 to the 4th margin calls. I'll short it MC. The 0 is the initial one that buys. The first margin call, 2nd, 3, 4. It sells all with the whole position. That is when you get the 3.1%. Sometimes too, you get more than 3.1%. Sometimes too, you get lower than that. It's all because of the whole position take profit callback. This, the 0.1. If the market is moving so high, before it sells, it triggers 0.1% first. If that trigger initiates and the market continues to go up, it will add to your take profit 3.1. But If it triggers and the market drops a bit, it will deduct the 0.1% before it gives you the profit. That is when sometimes you see lesser than your take profit. Sometimes you see higher than that. I think one of my Saturday meetings, I showed one coin that I set it 3%, but it gave me more than 3% because the coin was actually skyrocketing. So it gave me like 4 point something, almost 5%. The same way, if a coin is about to sell, then it drops a little, it will deduct the take profit callback. Do you guys get that aspect too? Now, someone will ask, so the fifth call, sixth call, seventh call, what percentage does it use? You find it under distributed and take profit allocation here. As you can see, mine is 1% throughout. It doesn't mean you can't increase it more than 1%, or you can. But you should know that if you have 3% over here and I have 1%, you can agree with me that my 1% will deliver faster than you with the 3%. Do you understand? It's easy for a coin to get to 1% quickly than 3%. For the 3%, maybe it will get to 2%, then drop again, then go up again, then drop again. Maybe it will take 5 days for that coin to get to the 3%. But with the 1%, pa, 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 pa. Do you get it? That is why over here I set by 1%, but you can actually increase it depending on your greed. Now, it's only advisable to increase it when the coin has actually been down for a longer period of time, and now the coin seems to be rising fast. That one, you can quickly come here and change the take profits. Okay, you can change it. Because once the coin has been down for a longer period of time, when it starts to go up, hey, that is when people jump in, when it's really going up, and then they get caught at the top. Do you understand? So yes, that is my sharing for today. Now I'm taking in questions. Today I'm making it brief so that I don't confuse you too much. I don't want to bombard you with a lot of things. Okay, so that is the power of margin calls. Let me show you Troy. So look at Troy. The take profit ratio was 2.5. But let's look at the trade settings. It gave me 1.54% when it sold everything completely. Can you see? And mind you, the deal amount, your capital plus the profit is part of the deal amount. Do you guys get it? Now look at the subsell. Even though it was 1%, it gave me 1.37 because the market was going up. Okay, so it's in that order. Okay, you see the subsells alone. Now let's see how long this trade actually took. Let me go back, sorry. You find that under record. I was here, I've moved to here. So this trade, the duration lasted for 11 days, 7 hours, 32 minutes. This same coin, someone will pick it, it will sell within seconds. It's all the market. I do not control it. Nobody controls it. Do you get it? One coin, one day it will be selling so fast, another day it will be so slow. That is how the market behaves like. Okay. Now look at this. So it was only one cycle. And look at this. The margin calls 64. I initiated 100. The robot only bought 64. Now this is the profit for the 0 to the 4th margin call, 16. But look at the profit here, the total revenue. So that tells you that more money was made through opening of more margin calls. Most of the times when people come and they're like, oh, my coin has been floating for some time, I'm like, my dear, if you have money, add more. I say, the coin is down, I should add more. Yes, you need to add more because the price has gone cheaper. So you buy more. So once the price starts going up, it will sell for you. Princess Minat is here. She can testify. She had some coins. I was like, my dear, I don't know if she's here or she's gone. Okay, she's gone. I was like, my dear, open more margin calls. She was so shocked. The coin sold. She was like, wow. So that was the secret. I said, yes. And I've been saying that for long, but you thought I was rather disturbing you. She said, wow, I love. Okay, Princess Minat, you are here. She can testify in the group chat. Maybe where she is noisy. She opened margin. She had 3 different coins that were on floating loss. I told her, money you have made from the team building, even though it's small, you push it. Let's open more margin. We even did it 5, 5, 5, 5. We didn't actually increase it so high. She had already, is it 7 or 5 margin calls, and we increased it to 10 or 15. Before she should know, the coin was buying, selling, buying, selling. One day it just vanished. She was giving updates on her group. Do you understand? Now, if you don't have enough money to actually pump in, that is why Royalq designed 3 different ways you can earn from this opportunity. Hey, let me turn on this sheet because it looks like it's really going deep because I didn't, so that it can buy more. Okay, so opening of more margin calls is a blessing in disguise. Okay, so please, if you don't have more money, you share the opportunity. You see where you are stuck. That is the current price of someone that will be entering. Do you understand? But if your average price is so far away from your current price, it will not go up and sell for you. Now, let's look at this. The next take profit trigger price is 4.5981. Okay, you can see that it's greater than this. And it's for the 26th margin call. Do you understand? But if this current price drops to 4.5071, the robot will quickly buy 27. Do you understand? That is why it's not advisable to pump in all your money into one coin. You must have backup. Okay, so that is it. I've ended. I'm done for today's meeting. If you have any questions, please raise up your hands and ask, or you can type it in the chat. All right. Oh, Princess Minat says I'm here. Okay. Cool for Joe. You also made it. You are done with your dinner. Okay. So Rahila is asking, how can I raise my hands? Okay. So let me share my screen again. I love it when people ask questions because it actually opens your mind. Do you understand? Okay. So on your Zoom, we have reactions. Then you see raise hand. So once you do that, I would see it among the participants that you've raised hands. Okay, someone is trying it. Or Madam Pauline, you want to ask a question? All right. So let's say, for instance, okay, I'll get back to you, please. Let's say, for instance, I'm like, give me some thumbs up. Once you tap on reactions, thumbs up. You want to give love. You want to laugh, Okay. All right. So Rahila, I believe you got it. Okay. So, Auntie Pauline, let me finish with the ones in the chat, then I take your question. Okay, so they are sub-sales, buying and selling of trade. Okay. But I set 0.2%, but robots not buy at the same time till drop like 2%, then buy and take profit goes below. So, Bada, your English is not so clear, but I think I understand what you are saying. If you set your margin call drop to 0.2% and the robot does not buy, it simply means that it has not yet triggered your buy-in callback. You see the whole position take profit callback I showed you. We also have buy-in callback. It hasn't triggered it yet. Once that trigger is over, it will quickly buy. Now, another thing I have to add to it is If your AI margin call, hey, what's happening? Hey, someone is sharing board. Oh. I beg you, don't be doing try and error. Let me stop it. Who is sharing? Please kindly stop that. Okay. All right. So where was I? Uh-huh. I was answering Bada. So if your AI margin call is on, the robot would not buy according to your drops. Why? It would take its time and buy when it's necessary. Do you get it? Okay. So probably your AI margin call was on. I don't know. But if it was not on, it means the buying call back has not triggered. That is why your 0.2 has not bought. So you just exercise patience. The robot will do its work. Yours is to issue out the command. You leave the rest for the robot to do. All right. So gift is asking. So are you saying it's best to leave the margin call on always? Yes, gift. If you have enough USDT, because if you don't turn it on and the coin keeps dropping, your last price at which it bought it at will be far away from the current price. So therefore, it cannot be able to sell faster. Okay, gift. Now, another thing too is if uh you do not have enough margin, enough USDT for the robot to buy, you know what it does? The robot will turn it off automatic. Why? Because the robot does not want to come into your room again and you don't have USDT for it to buy. So it turns it off. Now, once you have more USDT, either by topping up or the other old calls has sold and you have more USDT, you can now come and turn it on. Then when it is visiting room by room, it will now enter into your room and pick. Do you understand? So gifts, that is it. How much margin, how much capital you should use to open the 100 margin calls? All right, so cool for Joe. This 100 margin calls, when you calculate 1 times 100 is what? It's 100. Now, when you multiply it, if you are going to be using 5 as your first buying amount, and you multiply 5 by 100, how much is it? 500 USDT. But don't forget that the first time it will buy, it's not counted as the margin call. So that one will buy double because the open position double is on for this settings. So it will buy 5 times 2, making 10. If you add the 10 plus the margin calls 1 to 100, making 500, that would be 510. But if you want your first buying amount should be 10, you should allocate 1,020. Now, it's not kind of necessary that you must have all the 1,020 before you can use that strategy. People are here. Sometimes I use it for people with 250 USDT capital. Just that when the coin, they are not lucky and the coin drops very deep, they get stuck. Unless they are ready to top up, then we can continue from there. Okay. So you just multiply. How much do you want to? You just do the multiplication. That is just simple. Okay. But sometimes someone has allocated 510 for it. They are tempted to use part of the money to trade another coin. Then thinking, oh, they'll quickly return it before it will get to the 100th call. Don't forget, we all do not control the market. So it's dangerous, but if you are doing that, you need to be careful. You need to know what you are doing or be ready to add in more if that happens. All right, I was eating and listening to you at the same time. That is great, and I admire that. You see, these are serious students. They don't give excuses. Okay, that, oh, I'm eating, let me finish eating before, let me finish. He's eating at the same time listening, and I'm sure he's hearing me. Okay, all right. So leader Kate, thank you so much. Okay, thank you, my leader. I'm sorry, English, my second language. Oh, Bada, don't worry. Me too is my second language. It's not my native language. So that's okay. We are learning English, so it's not a problem. Josiah Adam says sorry. Sorry for what? I don't get you. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I think I pressed on wrong button, was trying to raise. Okay, no worries. That's okay, Rahila. Kwesi Ofosu says, if your trading capital for the trade is 100 USD, what should be your first buying amount for a coin? And how many coins can you trade with 100 USD? I love this question, but if you don't understand the calculations that I made, you will definitely ask this question. Okay, so let's look at the trade settings again. Don't forget, this settings is 100 margin call limits. It doesn't mean you cannot make your own 10 or 5 or 6 or 20. Now, someone with, let me create a new strategy. Okay, let me use 1 inch. I go to trade settings. So I'm replying Chrissy's message. So this is the default settings of Royalq. And if you go to their margin configuration, you see that their own is big, 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 big. 2 times 15, 4 times 15, you must get all this money. That is why we don't go according to this default settings. We rather give you something that you can work around it. Okay. So his capital is 100. I'm going to make my margin call limit 9. Then my first buying amount, how much would I make it? I'm going to make it 10. Why? My trading capital is 100. 100 divided by 10 is 10. Don't forget, the initial one that will buy 10 is not part of the 10 margin call limit. So if I subtract it, I'll be left with 9. So my margin call limit will be 9. My first buying amount will be 10. Now, strategy mode. Because I have more than 4 margin calls, I'm going to change it from whole warehouse mode to start being real-time settlement. Then I'll confirm it. Okay. Now, because I do not have enough capital, my AI margin call will be on, but my open position double will be off. Why? Because my capital is not enough to do open position double. Because if I open position double, it will deduct 20 out of my 100. I'll be left with 8. So I have to limit my margin call limit to 8, which wouldn't help me, because don't forget, if the robot buys more of the dip, that is the best. Okay. So the take profit ratio, I'll just edit it. So like the 100 margin call limits, you can actually, what am I doing? You can actually edit it. Okay. Instead of 100, you can limit it to 20. If not, you can leave it like that. Once the robot consumes all your USDT, it will not buy. It will turn off the margin call. So you have to turn it on once you have more USDT. Okay. So let's go to the margin configuration. I should have used that one. That one will be much easier. Let me go and copy it. Okay. Hold on. We are using a smart robot, so you also need to know how to use it in a smart way so you don't actually suffer. I hate suffering. I hate suffering, man. So what's the name of the coin? 1 inch. I create trade setting. Then I click on the 3 dots at the top right corner. This is where I tapped. I first copied an existing trade. Even if it's a closed trade, you can still copy it, provided the settings is there. Then now I'll tap on input strategy code. Then I'm going to paste it over there. It's loading. Voila, my 100 is there. So I'll make this 10, probably 10 of the open position double and 10 on the AI margin call. Now let's go to margin configuration. My first buying amount is 10, right? Kwesi Ofosu, is it the person who has the question? Let me see the name. Oh, I have to delete. Trying to see. Yeah, Kwesi Fosu. Okay. I hope you are following. All right. So I take a screenshot again. Our first buying amount is what? Is 10. So the first call, how much will it use? It will use 10. Why? Because 1 times 10 is equal to 10. Okay? The same applies to this. 1 times 10. 1 times 10. 1 times 10. So because if the robot buys 10, I have 90 left. It will buy until the 9th call. Then if it drops and it wants to buy, it cannot buy. Instead, it will go and turn off this margin call off. Let me show you. It will turn this one. This will be on, okay, when it's in trade. But once it gets to the 9th call and it cannot buy, it will turn it off. Now, if you check your USDT balance on your Royalq, this is where you can see it. You don't need to go to your exchange because most people, once they go to their exchange, they go and scatter everything over there. Okay, so your USDT balance is always here. To refresh it, tap on this icon. Then you refresh it. Then when you see that, oh, 1 coin has sold, 2 coins have sold, oh, I have more USDT. Then you come and click on the coin by tapping on this place. Don't go and tap here. If you watch carefully, you see that there are some line. Let me enlarge it. You see some faint line. If I tap here, I'll open it from the long process way. But once I tap here, it opens it the easiest way. Okay, then you go back there. Then you go and turn on your margin call because the robot turns it off. That is why you get messages like this in your... Oh, where is it? The message is finished. Unfortunately, there is nothing like that. Like the one that will tell you that if you have top up, you should turn off on your margin call. Oh, as we are talking, the robot just sold XRP 1.2%. It means it's going up. Okay. Yeah. So I hope you got the answer. Kwesi Fosu. So are you going to set manually the strategy setting for each coin when you're about to trade, or are you doing one setting and it will affect all the coins if you want to trade? Yes, you do it one at a time. At first, we were getting it the difficult way, the long process, because you have to do it one after the other. But now, once you have the trade settings, you have the strategy code, you can just copy it from your upline or anybody in your team. Okay, someone can share it in the group. Like for instance, if I want to share the strategy code for this 100 settings, I just go to trade setting. Then I tap on the 3 dots again. Then I tap on share strategy. Then I copy. Once I copy, I can share it on WhatsApp. Okay, let me share it on my other device because this is I have to go and open it from the web. So Doris, yeah, the group, I'm pasting it over there. So those who are on that group can actually see it. Let me paste it on the mentees group as well. Okay, so you have to enter it one after the other in each coin. But once you enter it, it saves in it forever until you want to change it. So Kwesi Fosu, I hope you got it. Okay. Now, what is the difference between spot and futures? What are the advantages and disadvantages of each place? So this one there, it will be, how do you call it? It will be a school on its own, a topic on its own to be treated. Okay. Now, I'm also giving you homework. Have you seen when we were in school, when you want to ask your teacher a question, your teacher will say, I've thrown that question back to you. You should go and do it. I've thrown it back to you, Kwesi Fosu. What I need you to do is go to, I'll say, hey, go to, okay, I haven't shared my screen. Let me share my screen. Now, sometimes it's good to learn how to come out with solutions than, like, for instance, if I want to ask this question that you pasted here, where is it? Copy. So you go to, hey, sorry. So you go to Google, or you just go to your ChatGPT and paste this over there. ChatGPT will give you the reply that you need. Spot market. It will give you all the reply. So I put it to you. Now, Kwesi Ofosu, Kwesi Fosu or Kwesi Ofosu, go and do your due diligence. But what I can tell you that if you trade on the spot market, you are safer over there. Why? Because the quantity that you buy is not affected when the market goes against you. But with futures, I don't know if Ajakojo is here. With futures, it will future you. It will future you like future. You will be in the future. Okay? So you have to know how to. There are people that are very good when it comes to, they know when to come out, when to go in. Okay? But with futures, if the market goes against you, you lose completely. Everything is gone down the drain. Unlike spot that people are complaining, I mean, floating, if it's futures, they would have been deaded. Okay. So that is it. So Kojo Fosu, please go and do your due diligence and come and teach us next time. All right. So thank you so much. Okay, I'll finish with that. Can you reduce the margin call limit? Yes, Bells, I mentioned that. Did you guys hear that? I mentioned you can reduce it. Okay. The minimum you can use is 1. You can reduce it at any time. Hey, Dakintor says, I don't understand English. Can you speak German? Oh my God. Hey, you this woman. Don't worry. I'll speak German next week. So David's Impact says homework. Yes, homework. I'm giving you homework. Okay, can we use this strategy? You just explained about 100 USDT for cycle strategy. Yes, you can use that, and it's really good for cycle. So you can use it. All right, Madam Pauline, over to you. Please ask your question. Kindly unmute yourself.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Is it Madam Pauline from UK or a different Pauline?
The same one.
Ah, okay.
From UK. Yeah.
All right.
I was going to ask you about when you went into the trade setting. I saw that the open position doubled. It was on, but then you explained it in 2 times, and I understand why yours was on.
Okay.
As you were talking,
all right, great.
Yeah, and I noticed
you
why.
Got the explanation.
Why
okay.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Most of the times, you're welcome. Most of the times, people think that when the open position double is on, all your margin calls, when it buys to it will buy double. No, it's only the first buying amount. So let's assume you have 5,000. Okay, that's why you stopped. Okay. So let's assume you have 5,000 USDT. You want to use 2,000 as the first buying amount so that if in case the market does not go down to buy your margin calls, you can make big profit of the 2,000. You can make the first buying amount 1,000. 1,000, it will buy double. So 1,000 plus 1,000, 2,000. Okay. So that is it. All right. So that is why your hands, was down. All right. So Angel Diva, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, hi. Yeah. What I want to ask is, the on mine, it's saying that I'm buying it at 5. My first margin call is 5. So that means, is that why I've been earning like $4 and $5 every day?
Yes, please. If you want to increase it, you can increase it to 10 to 25 to 50 to any amount. But you should know that if you are increasing it, then you must have more USDT. Because when the market begins to go down.
How do you know
Did
the
you get me?
maths? Because yeah, I understand that, but I'm saying, how do you know the maths? Like, if it's a 500, then how much would you increase it to?
Okay. So
If your
who can
balance is
answer?
500.
Yeah, I got you. Who can answer Madam Diva? Who can answer her? Do you have someone here, a volunteer? Don't be shy. Who can answer her? Nobody. Okay. So you have 2,000 USDT. When you divide 2,000 by 100, let me add the one that the robot will not buy. Let me add that one to it. Okay. So 101. Okay. When you divide 2,000 by 101, 2,000 divided by 101, that is 19, meaning your first buying amount has to be 19. Do you understand? But with yours, we made it 5 USDT because you didn't have enough trading capital.
No, but
Okay.
if I'm asking if it's 500, I'm saying, wouldn't it be more than 5 USD?
If you have 500 USDT, shouldn't the first buying amount be more than 5 USDT? Is that what you're
Yeah, that's what
asking?
I'm asking. Yes.
No. If it's more, when you get to the 50th margin call or the 60th margin call and the robot needs more USDT, you need to top up. Let me share my screen and show you something.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Please watch
understand.
my screen because I did this calculation like 3 times, if I can remember. Because the same question Kwesi Fosu asked. Okay. Now, you have 500 USDT. We use 5 as your first buying amount. Initially, the robot bought 10 because of the open position double. Now, when you subtract the 10 from the 5, how much are you left with? 490. Don't forget that the margin call limit that I showed you guys over here, the trade settings. Let's go to trade settings. It's 100 margin call limit. And each call, it buys one times of your first buying amount. So if your first buying amount is 5, where's my calculator? If it's 5 and you have 100 margin call, meaning each call 500 times, that would be what? 500.
Yeah.
So if you want to make it 10 times 500 is what? 5,000. Hey,
Okay.
sorry, 10 times, sorry. 10 times 100, not 5,000, sorry. Quatch.
It's
Forget that one.
1,000.
Yeah. 1,000 plus, it buys 10 times 10 times 10. Okay, 10 plus 10, meaning 20. Okay. So 1,000 plus 20. So if you're going to use 10 as your first buying amount, you can change it to 10. You must have 1,020. But look, I'm able to maneuver my way because I monitor my trades very often. Okay. So for instance, I have allocated 1,020 for it. But I know I studied the coin and I know that coin, hardly before it will get to the 100th call. Sometimes maybe we'll get to 60, then it will start to rise, then it will sell off completely, then it will start a new cycle. Okay. So sometimes I still myself, okay, but I'm not saying do that too. I'm teaching you, but I'm not saying do it, because if you don't know how to do it, you end up like needing more USDT. Okay. So since I know that there is no way to get to 100, but it's just a possibility. It can get even to my 100 call and I'll still be in the deep. I'll need to increase it. Okay. So I would make my first buying amount a higher amount. Okay. But once I see that the coin is really dropping and I don't have enough USDT, I don't have more money to top up, I'll quickly come and change the first buying amount to 5. So 5 there, you buy 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Do you understand? Angel, do you get it?
Well,
Not
I
really.
understand by the maths that you did. I understand
Okay.
that.
So let's
Still.
say, for instance, Angel, you have 500. With your own, we made it 5 USDT so that
Yeah.
it will be able to consume everything. So with yours, it will get to the 95th margin, no, 98th or 99, because you have 500 and they bought 10. So 490 divided by, 490 will be for 99 margin calls. Okay. So with yours, the call will, when the market really goes down, it can take you to the 99th margin call. Okay. Unless you add extra 5 USDT to it before your 100th call can buy. But in some cases, you can actually increase the first buying amount. When you do that, you should know that if the market starts to drop, you might, instead of getting to the 99th call, you will not get there. You might get to the 70th call, then your USDT is finished. So you should be willing to top up, or else, the risks I showed you, the margin call risks, your average price will be far away from your current price. Okay. Did you guys understand? Guys, when I'm teaching, you have to let me know you understand, or else it will be like I'm pouring water on a stone. Do you understand? Because, ask.
So if you're saying, okay, so in the case of 200, for argument's sake, would it still be 5?
Yes, it will still be 5. Because, Angel, if you increase it to 10 or 20, if you increase your first buying amount to 20, it means it will buy only 19 times. Why? Multiply 10 by 19. 10 by 19 will give you 190, plus the initial one you bought from the beginning, 10. Then your 200 is finished. So meaning with you, dear, you will not be able to do all the 100 call. You only get to the 19th call, then your money is finished with 200. Do you get it?
Just repeat the maths again so I can get the maths again, please. Just repeat the maths.
Okay, let me share my screen. I know maths, some people don't like maths. Me, I love maths.
I like maths. I deal with maths. I have to work out fabrics.
Oh, you love maths. Okay.
Yeah, so talk
Angel,
to me.
you said let's make a scenario for 200 USDT, right?
Yeah.
Now, the margin call limit we have is 100. That's the maximum, like the limit we have for this scenario. Yeah. Okay. Now, 200. When you divide 200 by 100, it means your first buying amount has to be 1, which is not supposed to, because on Binance it's 5 and above. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, don't forget our open position double is on. If you want to turn that off, no problem. If you want to make your first
I'm listening, sorry.
Okay. If you want to make your first buying amount 10, how many tens will give you 200? Tell me that. Or let's use calculator. 200 divided by 10.
Oh, I did think 20, yeah. Go on.
20.
Yeah.
But don't forget, the first buy is not part of your margin call limit. So that one is out.
You're saying it would be 220 is what I'd need.
Exactly.
Oh,
220. Then you can have 20 margin calls, and the first buying amount will be 10. But if you want to use 20 as your first buying amount, it means we are going to divide 20 by 200, meaning your first buying, you get 10 margin call limits. Do you understand?
Because you have to
understand the margin configuration. Yeah.
Into the amount.
You just have to divide the amount by the number of margin calls. Simple as that.
But
so if you have 200,
100, so 100. Are you saying say again, sorry?
Stock 100 divided by what?
No, I said we set the margin calls at 100, yeah? And so if I have a balance of, I'll say 200, but it's probably say 300, whatever. How do I do the maths? That's what I don't get it. I don't get that.
So our margin call is 100. And how much trading capital do you have?
Say about 350.
350. Okay. Yeah. Now, you just divide 350 by 101. Why did I add 1? Because the initial one that buys for you. That is why I understand that. Yeah. I made it 1. Yeah. So meaning your first buying amount has to be 3. But no.
So you can't do 3, so you put 5
exactly
instead.
Meaning this money is small. Do you understand? Yes. Now, if we divide 350 by 5, we'll only be able to have 69 margin calls. Who can tell me the reason? Why will not have 70 by 69? Who can tell me?
Because when you divide it into it won't give you that amount of calls. If you divide the 5 into the 350, it won't give you 100 margin calls.
Yeah, it will give me 70. But don't forget, my initial one too will be part. So if we deduct the initial one that will buy from the 70, we will have 69. So my margin calls will be 69, or the robot will only buy up to the 69th call. Yeah. Then it will not continue 70, 71, to 100. It will not continue. Do you get it, Angel?
I get it now. So what you're saying is you divide the 5 into the figure, and that will tell you how many margin calls you can have.
Yes, or you do it vice versa. Your trade is having 100 margin call limits plus the initial one that will buy, so making 101. You divide 101 by your capital that you want to start with. Then you'll be able to determine the first buying amount that you have to give. Now, if you see that the first buying amount is lower than 5, you should know that it will not work. Okay. Do you get it?
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Are you sure you are clear?
Yes, because what you're saying is, initially, if I was to divide 100 into 350, I would only get 3.5, which you can't buy. So what you're saying is I would put 5, and then it would give me 70 for argument's sake. But what happens after the 70? Does it mean you out the trade?
No, because the margin call limit you have is 100. But because of your capital, you are limited to have only 70 margin calls. And don't forget, if it's 350 from the beginning, the initial one that will buy, your first buying amount, it will use 10. So meaning you will be short of 1 from the 70. You now have 69 margin calls. Do you get it? Depending on the capital. But you can reduce your margin call limit. You can reduce it to suit your capital. Maybe when I put it this way, it wouldn't confuse you. Do you understand? Instead of the 100, you can reduce it to 50, to 30, to 40, and you can increase it at any time. Do you get it?
Yeah. Okay, I think so.
Are you sure? No, you don't have to accept
I'm going to try the maths and see.
It's just simple, Angel. Maybe my English is not enough. Who can actually explain for Angel? Who is here that understand it and can explain to Angel? Please raise up your hands.
Please, can I try?
That yes, Bells, please try.
Okay, so from what you've said, if I have, let's say, 100 USDT, and I want to place a margin call, and my first amount is 5 USDT.
Yeah.
That means that if I multiply the 5, if I divide the 100 by 5, that will give me approximately 20.
Yeah.
Yes, but then I will not be able to do the exact 20 because I've already placed one margin call, which was the first one. So it will rather be 19 margin calls left because I've already done the first one. Yes. So therefore, when I'm placing my margin call, I can reduce the call limit to 19 instead of writing 20.
Instead of the 100.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. You're too good.
So instead
thank
of
you.
having the So are you saying that I would alter it instead of having 100, I would put it to 19 for argument's sake, instead of letting it run
Yes.
for 100?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You get it. So she
I,
had 100 USDT. She divides
mm-hmm.
100 by 5, the first buying amount,
5.
because 100 is the margin call limit. Oh, no, 100 is
Yeah.
her trading capital. She divides it
Yeah.
by 5, meaning she will get 20 margin call limits.
Balls.
Don't
But
forget
because
that
she's already traded her first
5,
one,
exactly. So now
she
she'll be
means
left with
she only has
19 margin
19.
call limits. Exactly. Angel, do you get
But
it?
I'm saying, would you? But so what I'm saying is, would you still have it set at 100, or would you change it according to the amount that you have?
It all
So
depends on you. If you have 100 margin call limits and your amount can only buy 20, once it gets to the 20, it turns off the margin call automatically. The robot will not say, Angel, because you have 100 and I've only bought 20, I want to buy the rest by force, by fire, by thunder, I'll buy. No, it will turn off the margin call limit. Okay. Our argument is for you to know how to allocate, because you asked me that, is it because you had 5 as your first buying amount, that is why you are making $5, $2, $3? And I said yes.
Yeah.
Because your first buying amount is not greater. Like me, for instance, you are using 5 as your first buying amount. I'm using 25. Another person is using 50. If we want to compare our profits, the person with 50 will make more than me with 25, would also make more
Mm-hmm.
than you with 5 as your first buying amount. So I'm just letting you understand that you can
But
increase
what?
your first amount at
Yeah.
any time, but you
And
should
then,
know
but
that
you'd have to
you have
turn it
more
off.
money.
Is that what you're saying? So you would have your first. Suppose you went 20. That because you knew it bought 20 today, tomorrow you'd have to change it back to 5 to make sure you've got enough to buy the rest of the margin calls.
No,
Is
I
that
didn't
correct?
say that. No, you are just confusing the whole thing. I didn't say that.
Oh,
So I'm saying that the settings you are using currently, and Angel, it has 100 MC,
margin calls.
100
Yeah.
margin call limit. But if you have
That's
350, it cannot cover all, because this settings, if you have 5 as first buying amount, it's going to need 510 as
to
total,
buy
because
500.
when
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
multiply 5 times 101, I'll get 505. But our open position double is on. So the 5 plus 5 will give you 10. So that is why we say you need 510 for this strategy. Do you get it?
Okay. Yes, I
But if
understand
you
now.
want to increase your first buying amount from 5 to 10, you should know that your 510 would no more be enough for the 100 margin calls. Instead, it will just use till your USDT is exhausted. Okay, because if you are going to use 10 as the first buying amount, it buys 2 times of the first buying amount, making 20 plus 10 times 100, 1,020. So if you make your first buying amount 10, meaning it will get to the 50th call, then the robot will turn off, not you. The robot will turn off your
Yeah,
margin
because you
call
wouldn't have
limit.
enough. Yeah.
Exactly, when it tries to buy the 51st margin call,
There
because
would be no
it
much.
didn't
Yeah.
find USDT. Exactly. But once you have more USDT, or it has sold 50th call, 49th call, 48th call, whatever call, and you have more USDT down, you have to come and turn it on automatically, because the robot cannot do that for you.
Yeah.
Then it can continue the cycle. Do you get it?
I understand. So it will only
Okay.
go as far as it can buy.
Exactly.
Then I will have to turn it back on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
You have to
or
check. But some people, sometimes they don't actually check it. Sometimes it has already sold and the money is still there, but their call is off because they didn't check it. Do you get it? So you
yes,
have to
yes.
check. Okay.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Now I'd get it, yeah.
Okay. Because if you don't understand, I'll have to repeat it, or you have to rewatch this video again. So you can take your time and get it clear. Okay. So I think that's all for today. No questions again. I do first buying amount 300 and margin call I put 0.2. So first buying amount 300, what is your margin configuration? Okay. So you mean your margin call, the buying multiple buying ratio, you put 0.2, meaning 300 times 0.2 will give you 60, meaning each call it will be buying 60, 60, 60. So Bada, that is what it means. Okay. All right. So yes, that is all for tonight. It's exactly 9:21. We have spent 1 hour 21 minutes here. Since there are no questions, I think we should call it a night. Thank you all for attending this session. I believe you guys learned something. It's not only one day show. You have to be attending these meetings to be able to understand clearly. Okay, you don't attend for just 1 week, then you stop. Okay. All right, thanks. I'll stop the recording now and I'll upload it.